Hello, I'm Radeeka Hamilton, Survivors Advocate, situated at the Georgetown Magistrates Court. I started my studies in social work a long time ago, back in 2003, and surprisingly, I had never taken the opportunity to put it to use. And there was a point when I started my own business, and I was like, okay, business is definitely not for me, and I just feel like I need to step up in my role, in my passion. And I was privy to the CAN program, and I decided to go. I was accepted to attend, and I did, and then I was like, you know, this is it. This is reconnecting me to who I am. So that was my motivation. First, my responsibility is to myself. My second responsibility is to empowering women like myself. I have been exposed to DV in the past, but being the person I am, strong enough, willing enough to want more and want better, I decided to take on the role of helping vulnerable women. Responsibilities, every day I go to work with the responsibility of reaching someone, helping someone, empowering someone. So daily, that's what I do. All right, so initially I expected that a survivor being in a vulnerable situation would be open to the services that the ministry offers. You know, the ministry has so many things that they provide for DV cases, employment, housing, assistance, so much more. But then you come to realize that some women have been programmed differently from others. They have different wants, different circumstances. And it doesn't only start when a bad thing happens to a person. In order for one to be empowered, this would have to have been embedded from before. So you'd find some women are not as strong towards independence and towards change. They're so traumatized and used to what it was that, you know, and so it comes to a point where it's difficult to understand some days. If you have all these things available to you, why would you prefer to stay in what you already know, to go through what you have been going through? But as a social scientist, you understand, in your quiet time, you understand better why it is what it is. I've had moments of awe, simply because you expect that persons who are not that educated would be most vulnerable to domestic violence. But then you come to realize that even persons that are socially higher in status or stature, then you come to realize that even those persons are exposed to DV. Persons in offices and businesses, big businesses, reputable businesses, you find that they're even exposed. And so it's not secluded or subjected to a particular type of people or a type of woman or type of man, but anyone can be a victim of domestic violence. I've had one case where I felt like, you know, we were in tandem. We were working and getting her to where she felt like she needed to be. Provision of a safe space was there, safe housing was there for her because she felt so threatened by her partner and his friends. And she was following through, and I was following through with her, and she was going through so well. And I was proud of the interventions made by the ministry, by myself, my manager, because I could have picked up the phone and sought guidance, and it was given. But then it came to a point where the client, I understand now, but she ended up going back to the father of her children, with whom she's been with for 18 years, was terribly abused, in my opinion. But I know that she understands now her worth. And even though she made the decision to go back, I believe it was a sacrifice for her children, and I commend her for that. Because when children are involved, definitely we need to, you know, not both parties may consider at the same time, but it's definitely a consideration to be taken. Aside from empowering and offering psychosocial support, I'm happy to report that I've mainly dealt with victims who were already independent and able to take care of themselves and their families. So with the bit of information that was provided to them and the services that are offered, them having knowledge of that, they were able to balance. Sometimes you get a victim and you're like, will you be able to man your home if you go ahead with this order or summons? And they're like, yes, I can do it. I just needed to get some information. So I was able to give information, and that's important. A lot of people are not aware of the possibilities or the how they can mitigate the circumstances that they're going through.